This is Royse City High School, and you're watching Rctv.
Hi, Royse City High School. Welcome to another edition of Rctv. I'm Hannah Grisham.
And I'm Vilma Ledford. On this episode, we'll talk with a senior who was personally impacted by a drunk driver.
We'll get to meet new teacher Miss Garlow and find out how she feels about being a full-time teacher this year.
Next, we will take to the halls to ask our students what state would you remove and why.
And finally, we find out who is a real prince walking our halls.
That's all right here,
right now,
on Rctv.
With prom this weekend, several RCHS students got a real-world view of the effects of drunk driving.
They pulled over to help at an accident scene, and what happened next was shocking. Here's Cameron with the story.
Just a few miles from here, senior Jerry Ramirez and some of his friends were traveling on FM 548 when they came across an accident scene. Little did they know, the next moments of their lives would be life-changing experiences.
Approximately 11:50 on Friday the 13th, we were heading southbound on 548 when we came across an accident that involved a drunk driver. Two of the passengers weren't wearing a seatbelt, and two of them were. The two that were suffered minor injuries, but one of the passengers in the back seat was ejected from the vehicle during the crash.
Riding with Ramirez were RCHS students Dylan Garner and Jeremy Poor.
Pulled up on a vehicle that was on the side road, like totaled. And we get out and we see a dude screaming, "Where's Steven? Where's Steven?" We're like, oh crap. I guess the dude flew out. We're looking around for Steven.
Where's my friend Steven? And then we look, and then we're looking, and then we see the dude laying on the ground. Like, you know, he's like unconscious and all that.
As they tried to help the injured passengers, what happened next sent everyone into shock when the driver of the crashed truck jumped into Jerry's car.
While I was on the phone with 911 given our exact location is when he jumped in my car, turned it on, and basically started heading towards us with minimal space to drive. And in those about 5 seconds, I reacted and basically moved in front of the car to try to get him to stop, and that's when he didn't care. He just floored it. And he missed me, my friends, the injured person on the ground, and another lady that pulled over to help by inches.
The 29-year-old man from Wills Point crashed Jerry's car and was pronounced dead on the scene near Quinlan. We asked Jerry how this incident has impacted him.
It's made me a lot more aware of everything that goes on whenever you're intoxicated or you're driving while distracted without a seatbelt. You see somebody that's impaired to drive and they insist on driving, to not let them go home or to give them a ride, if anything.
With prom coming up this weekend, this is a reminder to all students that drinking and driving can change your life forever and affect those around you. For Rctv, I'm Cameron Worthy reporting.
This story is a reminder that when you drink and drive, the outcome can affect everyone around you. Please make smart choices this weekend.
Ms. Garlow is one of our newest additions to the RCHS staff. She was a student teacher last year, but was hired full-time by the district this year. Here's more.
Today we're meeting Ms. Garlow. She was a student teacher last year, and this year was hired as a full-time employee. Let's look at her story now. Ms. Garlow was hired as a student teacher last year, and when the science teacher she was interning for resigned, she took place of the teacher and taught the class second semester. She now is a full-time employee and teaches biology and chemistry.
So when I first started doing school, I didn't realize how good at science I was, and I can do biology, chemistry, and physics, but chemistry is my favorite because it's the closest thing to magic.
Even though she's a new teacher, students feel a connection to her and feel welcomed.
The past grades that I've been to in science, I've always struggled, but since 9th grade, she's taught me a whole lot.
She's really fun and she's helpful and she's friendly, and if you need her for anything, she'll be there. You can just raise your hand and it's pretty easy just being around with her.
Royse City is really like a big welcoming family, so I had support from the administration, fellow teachers, and my students were amazing. My previous students and my current students, and so it was really a big family feel, and so when I did fail or I did mess up, it wasn't detrimental. I still had the support of my students and them all being like, it's okay, you mess up, we mess up too. So it was really nice.
Students and teachers alike are excited to have such a talented teacher join our RCHS staff.
From Rctv,
this has been Vilma Ledford.
Woo, good job.
This week, Shelby Dorshow took to the halls to ask our students what state they would get rid of and why.
Hey everybody, my name is Shelby Dorshow, and this week's question of the week is if you could get rid of any state in the United States, what would it be and why? Let's see some of our answers.
For me?
Yes.
What, girl?
If you could get rid of any state in the United States, what would it be and why?
South Carolina, because I don't see the purpose for it.
Idaho, no one lives there. No one lives in Idaho? No.
Arizona. Why? That's the first state that came to my
mind. Rhode Island, because it's small and we don't need it anyway.
Arkansas, because people pronounce it Arkansas, and that's weird. So Arkansas for sure.
I would get rid of Nebraska. Why? Because who cares about Nebraska?
Alaska. Alaska and Arkansas. Why? My ex-boyfriend lives in Arkansas.
Louisiana, because it's dirty.
What's
the state where the cousins date?
Everything south.
Yeah, Arkansas gotta go. Alaska, because it's irrelevant and it's not even connected.
Okay, that's a good answer right there.
Or Mississippi, because it's like a really long name and it's really hard to spell.
I don't freaking know.
What do you mean you don't know? There's 50 states to pick from.
Canada.
Student Wills Bond has a cool family history you wouldn't suspect. Here's Lindsay with the story.
With just under 1,700 students at Royse City High School, you may not know every single one of them. But everyone has something interesting about them. Aaliyah Bashan and I decided to find someone with a story worth telling. Here's Wills Bond, a student here at RCHS and a prince of Tickery, Africa.
I moved to America when I was 6 years old, and it was by plane. I had came due to my parents wanting to explore and see more of it, expand their opportunities. Living back in Africa, I grew up in this sort of like a mansion type house. It was flat, it wasn't two-story or anything.
Later in Wills Bond's life, he finally found out that he was royalty.
I found out that I was a prince when I was talking to my parents, and my sister had asked a question regarding where we came from, and my father said we were princes and princesses. We didn't believe him at first, but he explained to us, and that's how I found out. We aren't there ruling now because my dad had declined the throne. My dad's dad had passed away, and there was a lot of debate on who should take the crown spot. How it makes me feel that when I know I'm no royalty is, I guess I feel a sense of pride. There's more for me, I guess, to look forward to in the future, I guess.
Wills Bond enjoyed the time he spent in Africa very much. Although he is royalty, Wills Bond lives a very regular life. He enjoys things like dancing, acting, music, and many other things, just like any other high school student. From Rctv, this has been Lindsay Miller and Aaliyah Bashan.
Thank you for watching this episode of Rctv.
Please check out our previous show about our trip to the beautiful St. Croix. And next week, tune in for the special edition for Prom 2018.
This has been Hannah Grisham
and Vilma Ledford reporting from Rctv.
Be safe, RCHS.
Mama,